Hello and welcome Madridistas to this live training session coverage straight from Real Madrid City in the heart of the Spanish capital. It's a pretty chilly morning in Madrid, about 19 degrees. It's cold in comparison to the hellish summer we've had in August anyway in Madrid. But as you can see, players have just come out for training. And of course, it's their last session ahead of tomorrow's game back at the Santiago Bernabeu at 9:30 local time against Real Mallorca. Well, it seems like a bit of David and Goliath tomorrow. Real Madrid have a very good record against Mallorca, especially at home, but it never really is that simple against Mallorca. What we do know about them, about Jago Arrasate's team, is they like to make things difficult, especially for the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona. Mallorca did actually face Barcelona on the opening night and against Barcelona, but it didn't go too well for them, losing 3-0 on home soil. We'll get into that in a little bit, but first let's look back at Real Madrid's last game. Of course, that 3-0 win against newly promoted Real Oviedo at the Carlos Tartiere. Fantastic win, double from Mbappe, and then Vinicius having a great impact after coming off the bench, scoring a goal and setting one up for Kylian Mbappe. Pretty dominant win. First half, very dominant. Team did very well to get a goal before the break. Mbappe in the 37th minute. Then Oviedo did try and muster a fight back. Almost got back into it, hit the woodwork. Thibaut Courtois denied Oviedo with a fantastic save in the second half. It could have been a very different game had that gone in, but then those Oviedo legs got tired, and as Vini came on, Real Madrid were able to show their dominance and reflected in the scoreline. And as I said, their second home bout of the La Liga season. Season plays host to Islanders Real Mallorca tomorrow night. Last season, Los Bermellones got their second best domestic finish in the past decade, ending in 10th place, and that's despite a pretty poor final stretch. Their best form came in the start and middle of the season, didn't end it as well as they started it. But the new season hasn't seen them fare much better. They're winless after 2 games. As I said, they were never really favourites on the opening day against Barcelona. But after 23 minutes, they were 2-0 down, and then in 6 minutes, they got 2 red cards, all before the half-time whistle. Lamine Yamal then got the third in the 94th minute, and a pretty disappointing opening night at the Son Moix. They were home again for the second match week up against Celta Vigo, hoping for a better showing. They dominated, but still went behind in the first half through a Javi Rueda goal for Celta. Kept pushing, and then in the 87th minute, Mallorca native Mateo More levelled the scores, ended 1-1 on the island. In terms of summer arrivals and outgoings for Mallorca, there was a couple big-name exits. Starting keeper Dominic Grief, as well as starting centre-back José Copete, both departed to Lyon and Valencia, respectively. Robert Navarro, as well, being of Basque heritage, was poached on a free transfer by Athletic Club de Bilbao. And in terms of new names for Los Bermellones, Pablo Torre, his transfer's been finalised from Barcelona, €5 million fee, as well as free transfer Chelsea goalkeeper Lucas Bergström. Marash Kumbula, been brought in on loan from AS Roma, spent last season with Espanyol. Unfortunately, couldn't stop them from getting relegated. And also striker Mateo Joseph from Leeds. Real Madrid unbeaten against Mallorca at the Santiago Bernabeu. In their last 10 meetings, they've won all of them. Mallorca's last win at the stadium came back in May 2009. So we are expecting a pretty straightforward affair. Mallorca are a lot better at the Son Moix than they are on the road, or at least that's what last season told us. But Xabi Alonso's men, they said it before. Aurelien Tchouameni said the goal was always to win those first 3 games before the international break. Well, they've got the chance to do that tomorrow, and they've got the chance to do it without conceding a single goal. 2 clean sheets so far, 4 goals scored in 2 games. Be excellent to continue that record, keep another clean sheet and, of course, get all 3 points before the team travel away with their respective international teams. Always important to head into these international breaks off the back of a win with good vibes and a good atmosphere in the training room. But there is already, it has been a very promising start. Xabi Alonso era fully underway. Maybe it wasn't the best showing of the new tactical setup against Osasuna in the first game, but admittedly, it was a tough game. Osasuna sat very deep, absorbed all the pressure that Real Madrid piled upon them. But in the end, that one goal from Kylian Mbappe from the penalty spot was enough to separate the two. Elsewhere in La Liga, the match week 3 starts tonight with Elche hosting Levante, two newly promoted sides facing off. And then at 9:30, Valencia host Getafe. Tomorrow it starts at 5 with Alaves Atletico Madrid, Real Oviedo Real Sociedad at 7 o'clock, that's in Oviedo. Then at 7:30, Girona Sevilla, and then we round off Saturday's football facing Mallorca at 9:30 local time. Sunday sees Celta Vigo host Villarreal. Later at 7 o'clock it's Real Betis Athletic Club, Espanyol Osasuna half an hour later, and then Sunday night ends with Rayo Vallecano Barcelona. Well, the big news is, of course, yesterday Real Madrid found out their Champions League opponents for the upcoming league phase. It's still a bit, we're still not used to calling it the league phase, but it's technically the group stage. And a bit of a mixed bag, certainly a tough start for Los Blancos. Man City at home, to kick things off, and then a daunting trip to Anfield Road for a second consecutive year in this league phase. Real Madrid will play at Anfield. Xabi Alonso will return to Anfield, of course, after spending a few years with Rafa Benitez at Liverpool, winning the Champions League, as well as the European Cup and a League Cup. After Liverpool, it's then Juventus at home, and then things start to get a little bit easier. Benfica are some people's dark horses, did well in the Champions League last season and the season before that. We've got them away in Lisbon. Then after that, Marseille at home, Olympiacos away, could be difficult, Monaco at home, and then to round things off in the Champions League stage for Real Madrid, well, it's quite a story. They face Kairat Almaty of Kazakhstan, who qualified for the Champions League after knocking out Celtic of Glasgow. And Kairat Almaty are the easternmost team to ever reach this stage of the competition. It's 4,000 miles away. I think it's a 9-hour flight. I commend any fans that make that trip to Kazakhstan for the game, but it's certainly going to be an exciting Champions League phase, and it's going to be an exciting match week 3 back at the Santiago Bernabeu. Well, we're almost at the end of our live training coverage, but be sure not to go anywhere because Xabi Alonso will speak very shortly, and be sure to watch Real Madrid Mallorca tomorrow at 9:30 local time.